Hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Look for Warriors, and I'm listening to John Taylor Gatto's Elite Private Schools, where elite private schools teach that your kids will not be learning unless you teach them. Now, I'm also listening to he's telling me about people who went to elite private schools and what a coincidence it is that all the presidents of the United States went to elite private schools. He's talking about Bill Clinton. This is a while ago. He's talking about Bill Clinton. He's talking about George Bush, and they've all gone to elite private schools. It's what a coincidence that all of these leaders, now you can argue whether they were good leaders or not, but you can't argue whether they're leaders. They're certainly leaders. All went to elite private schools. Now this was recorded quite a while ago what I'm watching, so I want to check the people more contemporary. Like I want to check Donald Trump, I want to check Joe Biden, I want to check Barack Obama. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some research into that, and that's going to be a future video. Elite private schools. And I'm going to check from other countries, Ireland, England, other countries. So if there's a specific country you want me to take a look at the leaders and what schools they went to, put it in the comments, and I'll certainly do that. Now, elite private schools, the one thing he says that they do is they teach kids to always grasp for responsibility, to always grasp for leadership and responsibility when it is offered, and to always give responsibility. Now this can be, I'll give you some, this can be as simple as, yeah, they do the dishes, they clean up the table after dinner, they bring the plates over. Those simple little responsibilities, them taking on, making their bed, keeping their room clean, as Jordan Peterson would say. So simple little responsibility is really important to lead on to bigger and better things. Now, some of the examples that John Taylor Gatto gives are not really applicable, certainly to my life and possibly to yours. Looking after a horse. Isn't a housing estate, you don't have much opportunity to look after a horse. But there's certainly responsibilities that you can ensure that your kids take on. One great example he gives is clubs, seeking leadership in clubs. Is there a scout group close to you? Is there a bicycle group? Is there? And in those groups, they're always looking for leaders or people who will take responsibility, because it's difficult, it's unpaid, it's difficult, and nobody really wants to do it. So it's a great place to teach them to grasp for that responsibility. So he says, this is what the elite private schools teach. Always grasp for responsibility. And it's not easy. It's not easy. It's easier just to do nothing. It's always easier just to do nothing. But to have a great life, you need to make yourself useful. You need to be useful. You need to be knowledgeable. And you need to grasp for responsibility and leadership. And look for opportunities where you can teach your kids how to go and get leadership and responsibility. This can be as simple as, I'll give you an example from my own life. My son is, he started up a drop shipping business. Now that's not easy. There's a big responsibility there. Sometimes things don't get there in time. Sometimes things are coming from China, people get angry. And I loved that he had to deal with those problems. And I let him deal with those problems himself. I didn't rush in and solve all his problems for him. I let him deal with those problems himself. Some people, they ordered it. It was clear that there was a 30-day wait time, but they still expected it in 3 or 4 days, and they weren't happy. And he had to deal with those problems. And we're all going to have big problems in our lives. I think nobody gets through this without being scarred in some way, no matter how privileged you are. No one gets through this life without serious scars. And if we can show them when they're younger how to deal with this responsibility and problems that they're going to have in their lives anyway, they're going to be hardened up for it. And it's a great story that relates to this, that really relates to kids these days. There's a story of the king, and the king, a guy in the kingdom, invented carpet. And he showed the king, and the king felt, he said, oh, this is incredible. I want this put all over my palace. This carpet, I love the feel of it on my feet. Put it all over my palace. So the carpetier, if that's a word, this is a story. Carpetier said, sure. And he carpeted the whole Took him a long time, but the whole palace, he put carpet down everywhere, and the king loved it. I love this. I can sit and I can lie down, and it feels incredible on my feet. I love this. And after a while, he called the carpenter back. He said, I love what you've done. This carpet's just incredible. It's so soft. It's unbelievable. I love it. I want to put it all over my whole kingdom. And the kingdom was vast. And the carpenter, you can't say no to the king because your head gets cut off. So the carpenter says, of course, sir, of course. And he went away and he was talking to the people he works with. And he was like, what am I going to do? The king wants this carpet all over his whole kingdom. There's no way we can do it. We could work every day for the next 1,000 years. We can never carpet the whole kingdom. It's impossible. So they thought about it and they were worried and they knew that this is going to be a big problem. They were probably all going to be killed if they couldn't do it. So they thought about it, and one day one of the guys came up with an idea. Said, listen, instead of carpeting the whole kingdom, why don't we put carpet just under the king's feet? So wherever he walks, he feels carpet. So he can walk anywhere in his kingdom and he still feels the carpet. I said, that's an amazing idea. Let's do it. So they did that. And that was when the first shoes were invented. They invented the shoes with carpet inside that the king could put on, and he could walk around with this carpeted shoes, and anywhere he went in his kingdom, he walked on carpet. And that is a story. It's a story of what Jordan Peterson is saying. He is saying, instead of fixing the whole world, you toughen yourself up. So the carpet is on you all the time and you're protected. So you don't have to fix everybody else in the world, because it's impossible. It's impossible to fix everyone, just like it's impossible to carpet the whole kingdom. It's impossible to fix everyone else. So if you can work on yourself and work on your kids, and they have the power to take responsibility, take leadership, and take the pain when it comes. They have that toughness inside to take the pain when it comes, and it will come. No matter how protected you are, the pain is going to come sometime. But if you are toughened up and able to deal with it, doesn't matter whether the pain is in the world, because you can deal with the pain that's in your world. And that's about reaching, just as John Taylor Gatto says, it's about reaching for responsibility, reaching for leadership, and being able to take the pain that comes with that, because there is pain, it's difficult. Reaching for responsibility and leadership. And that's what John Taylor Gatto says. The elite schools teach that your kids will not be taught. Your kids will be given busy work so they can't reach for responsibility and leadership. That also happens in companies. In companies, people are given busy work, kept busy, so they aren't reaching for the responsibility and leadership in the company. It's been Alan here from Looking for Warriors. Do me a favor. The biggest responsibility you need to take right now is hit the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button or click it with your mouse.